Have you ever asked yourself, what is living? Or how would you define something as a living matter? Is it just the presence of movement? The sound of a heartbeat? Now, want to learn something cool about life? Well, then why not join us as we debunk the science behind how life came to be?
Have conducted an experiment. In this experiment, we aim to illustrate the environment wherein living things would best thrive and how living things coexist with one another. Now, one of the characteristics of living organisms is to actively participate in the flow of energy. Now, imagine what might happen if this flow of energy is disrupted. What would be the results of such phenomena? The process of antibiosis could guarantee this so-called disruption. Now, what is antibiosis? Antibiosis is the association between two organisms wherein one is either harmed or killed. Without further ado, let's get started. The materials we used in this experiment are rice seedlings, green leaf hopper, water, soil, plastic bottles, nylon mesh, and rubber bands.
First collected rice seedlings in a nearby field. Now, the green leaf hoppers were really easy to collect since the rice seedlings we took were already infested with them. Afterwards, we cleaned our plastic bottles, placed our seedlings, added soil and water into two of the seedlings, while water only was added to the other two. Then, we cut our nylon mesh in square shapes, covered the top of our bottles, and finally tied them with rubber bands. We place each of the substrate in an outdoor and indoor setting. The outdoor setting was in the balcony, while the indoor setting was placed in a sink by the kitchen. Our data gathering period were during the 3rd, 4th, and 5th day. Now, our data was based on the mortality of the green leaf hopper and in the yellowing, discoloration, or death of the rice seedlings.
2 days later.
To further explain how and why we got the recorded data, I would like to call Sari. Hi Sari, you know that I've been working on our antibiosis experiment, right? Can you help me answer these questions? What is the best substrate for rice? And what is the best environment for rice?
Hi Kairos, what's up? So for the first question, the best substrates for the rice shoots are soil and water. Table 4 indicates that the rice shoots showed no signs of yellowing and discoloration and none died. On the contrary, Some of the rice shoots exhibited signs of discoloration and some of them died when the substrate used was only water. So for the second question, the best environment for rice would be an outdoor setup, since sunlight and water would not be deprived at this kind of environment, which would be suitable for sustaining the rice shoot's life. And it was shown in the experiment that when the substrate is limited to only water, the rice shoots underwent discoloration and some of them died. I think that would be all. Do you need any more help?
But I have more questions. I think we're gonna need some help. I should call Baron. Thanks for the help, Sari.
Hey, Kairos, how are you?
Hey, Baron. I'm really doing great, but I really need your help. I have a few questions in mind now. Do you have a time to spare? My first question is, how did the health of rice shoots affect the green leaf hopper? And second, what happens when the transfer of energy is disrupted?
For the first question, the green leaf hoppers, none of them made it to day 5. All of them died due to the unhealthy conditions of the rice shoots. The flow of energy was disrupted when the rice shoots became unhealthy. The green leaf hoppers did not survive because their primary source of energy, the rice shoots, were not given the right conditions to survive, to give the nutrients that the green leaf hoppers needed. For the last question, the flow of energy in the ecosystem is always linear. At each energy step in the food chain, the energy received by the organisms is used for its own metabolism and maintenance. So when the flow of energy is disrupted, it gravely affects the organisms that rely on the organism where the center of energy disruption occurred.